Good morning on this gloomy, but I'm going to still call it beautiful Monday. I'm Trooper Steve, traffic safety expert, Steven Montiero, for, I love that Chief Meteorologist Tom Soros, he calls it the powerful WKMG News 6. Good morning to you guys on this Monday. Like I said, it is a gloomy Monday, but it's because we have a cold front moving in. It's almost like just I brought some of the coldness down. You can see we are entering a pedestrian warning center, and that kind of goes with what we're talking about today. So our topic today is what I like to call back to the basics. We get to do different patrol topics when we're out in Results 1, and our topic today is pedestrian safety, and a big question came up, and I like this question. Which direction should you be walking if you do have to encounter traffic out when you're out and about? And we're going to answer that question at some point today. We are currently in the west side of Orange County, so we're in Pine Hills currently. I am right now located out of one of the substations for the Orlando Police Department at the intersection of Silver Star and Willow Bend Boulevard, just to give you a little reference of where I'm at this morning. So when it comes to pedestrian traffic, let's talk data. Let's talk some facts for a second. So in 2021, get this, I'm going to throw a crazy number at you. In Florida alone, there were over 10,000 vehicle and pedestrian related crashes. 10,000. And I'm saying more because it's just over. That's crazy. And we're also right here, Orange County, Seminole. Let's go. Orange County, Seminole County. We are the number one for vehicle and pedestrian related crashes in the entire country. Now, there are a lot of things to be excited about when we're number one, but being taking home the gold for injuries or crashes or things that are devastating for us, not something to be proud of. So what I want to do is find a high pedestrian area. So what we're going to do is we're going to head north here on Pine Hills Road from Silver Star. A lot of residents out here, a lot of pedestrians, and I want to sit out in one of the zones here. What you could see here is we do have the infrastructure for pedestrians and vehicles to cooperate with each other. Look, these signs just don't pop up here. Speed limit right here. Obviously, I'm not doing 80 miles an hour like that said, but there's signage, there's crosswalks, there are indicators. You can see right there, right here at Evans High School. We're right outside. There are crosswalks here. There are signs that say pedestrian crossings. Just like speed limit signs and traffic signals, in order for them to work, you have to obey them. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pull off here, and we're going to talk about briefly what does the law say, and what are some of the things that you can do as a pedestrian and as a driver to ensure that we're doing this safely, that we're going about it in a way that helps each other out. Because I'm telling you right now, it does take two to tango. The pedestrian isn't fully causing the crash most of the time. The driver is not fully causing the crash most of the time. It takes lack of responsibility from both people for these crashes to happen. So we're going to pull off right over here outside of a little pedestrian area and have a discussion about what does the Department of Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles say, and what are some things we can do. Wearing bright clothing, even if it's, look at this, my fancy best foot forward handkerchief. It's bright for a reason, right? So let's pull off, let's talk about what the law says, and then we'll answer that one vital question. I like these myth questions because I'm almost giving it away. Like the things we hear, 30 minutes, no swimming after the pool. Part of that is your parents, I don't think, wanted us swimming after dinner. And the light on in the car. We've talked about that. The dome light. That all your parents said you could be pulled over for that. No, you can't. No, there's no law that says a light on inside your car is illegal. So we are going to chat a little bit about that. A lot of pedestrians out here. I love seeing it. I love seeing the fact that pedestrians are traveling and using the sidewalk. That's what I mean. So we're going to pull off into this 7-Eleven here, kind of observe a little bit of the crossings. We have cross guards out here, and some of the things that they're doing are some things that we can do on a daily. So let's get pulled over, and we'll talk about it here. Maybe even see some of it. Get nice turned around. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. No promo, just, you know. We have Mr. Donovan the Great with us right now. He is streaming us on News 6 Plus this morning, which is pretty cool. So I think this is a really good shot of what I can show you. Beautiful shot of what I can show you here. So we're going to sit here. We're currently at North Lane and Pine Hills Road. And we're going to talk a little bit about the pedestrian safety. So first and foremost, let's talk about why we're here. A viewer sent the question asking about when I'm walking and if there are no cars and if I'm on the road, do I walk with traffic or against traffic? Well, that's a really good question. So we're going to talk about that. First and foremost, when possible, always walk on the sidewalk. It never ceases to amaze me. I'll drive downtown, or you'll drive in some of these side streets and someone is choosing to walk in the road. Why would you do that? That's like me choosing to drive in the water. It just doesn't work. I'm not supposed to be there because that area is designated for vehicles. My leg-driven self should not be there, right? So here's the big one. If there isn't a sidewalk present, or if there's nowhere for you to walk, walk facing traffic. There it is. And as far from that traffic as possible. So if there is a shoulder, you're walking on that shoulder, but as far away from the traffic, and you're walking towards it if there is no sidewalk. Okay? Why are we doing this? Part of it is because there is no sidewalk. They want you to take the extra step of observing that traffic in case something, you can maneuver yourself out of the way. Obviously, you want to pay attention all the time and avoid wearing headphones. So I keep earbuds with me pretty much everywhere I go, all the time, these little earbuds, right? But I never have them while I'm walking, or I'm only going to use one. Florida law also says it's illegal to have both of these in your ear while driving a motor vehicle. You have to be able to hear what's going on around you, right? I call it Operation Lookup. I used to get in trouble. Well, not in trouble. Like a no-no when I was a trooper, because the PA, I've got a nice PA, public address system in here, makes your voice loud, right? People walking across the road and they'd have their phone in their face walking. Operation Eyes Up. What are you trying to do? Look at this car backing up over here. Look at that Prius. What are you doing? This is where I tell you, don't make errors to fix your errors. Just keep doing what you're doing and adjust yourself down the road. I love being live. Okay. Crosswalks. They're not a suggestion. They are mandatory. So whenever possible, cross streets at an intersection that has crosswalks. Why? Because drivers are expecting you there. Just like here. The drivers, I'm going to pull a little further up, are expecting these kids to cross within the crosswalk where the crossing guard is. See how that crossing guard steps out? She has her vest on. She has her stop sign. She's helping those kids cross there. She's not expecting any student to cross diagonally. So when I say that, here in the state of Florida, It is very rare we see diagonal crosswalks. What I mean by that is you have to cross it at 90-degree angles. There are municipalities, cities across the state, some have them. I was out of the state this weekend and I saw it happening and I was really confused, and then I remembered, okay, I'm not in Florida anymore. Bright clothing. I know it's not fashionable. It's not what you're thinking, oh, I'm going to go for a walk, let me put some bright clothing on. But look, it's as easy as a bright piece of clothing. This handkerchief given to me, or this towel, by Best Foot Forward for pedestrian safety. Why is it bright orange? For a reason, because it could be seen, right? So if I was on a walk wearing this dark clothes and I threw this around my neck, to 99% of you guys, you're like, really? And I'm the 1% going, yes, really. This could save your butt in the middle of the night, right? When meanwhile, you've got people who cross the street, and to the far left of your screen, you can see a gentleman there, blue jacket, black pants. Nighttime, this would not work. It wouldn't be okay. Thank goodness he's got a crossing guard out there helping everyone get across. But the crashes I've worked and investigated, I can promise you there was never a pedestrian who was hit, never, not once, that was wearing bright clothing. It's always dark clothing, middle of the night, crossing at a non-crosswalk. All right? Never enter a street between parked cars. So let's think about that. Downtown Orlando, parked parallel, or City of Longwood, Sanford, wherever. Why would you not want to park? Why would you not want to walk out from parked cars? We're talking about the mentality, right? A driver is not expecting you to suddenly just walk out into traffic where there are cars stopped. So you want to go where the driver is going to see you. You're setting yourself up for success. In return, you won't get hit by a car. All right? Watch for cars entering or exiting driveways or backing up in parking lots, and be visible at all times. I just said this. Make eye contact with the driver. Let the driver know, I am going to be walking this way. And that's as easy as you looking at the driver. Our motorists, you're not to just walk out on this. I know I'm heavy on our pedestrians. Heavy. Because they don't do what we're watching right there. None of them cross the crosswalk when they're supposed to. People walk out just thinking that the car is going to stop. And then we get ticked off when these cars whack into pedestrians. I'm sorry, but it does take two adults understanding their responsibility in order for there not to be a crash. The second one person messes up, we have problems. Driver speeding, a driver failing to yield, a pedestrian just walking out, a pedestrian not using a crosswalk, a pedestrian not wearing bright clothing. Okay? So if you're just joining us, 8:44 on a Monday, News 6 Plus, the News 6 app, and clickorlando.com, we're talking pedestrian safety. And the question was, if there was no sidewalk present, where would I walk? Would I walk with traffic, or would I walk against traffic? And it was answered that if there is no physical sidewalk present, like the one we're crossing right now, you would walk against traffic. This would allow you to see oncoming cars and be ready to kind of avoid a collision. Some would say, well, what am I supposed to do? Walk in the grass if there's no sidewalk? Yes. That's simple. Yes. If there is no road, can a car just go up on the sidewalk and choose where they try? No, they can't. So they just wouldn't. With a pedestrian, you have an option just as long as you keep your butt out of the roadway. So here, we have a sidewalk. A pedestrian would be required to utilize that sidewalk. If they were in the roadway, they are impeding traffic. A pedestrian is not allowed to walk in the roadway. If this sidewalk wasn't there and it was all shoulder, all grass, by law, that is considered the sidewalk. So you would then walk facing the traffic so you could see, but also highly suggested that you go ahead and walk as far away from the cars as well. I want to test something here and see if I could pull this off. We're going to find another walkway area. We're here in Pine Hills off of Claricona Ocoee Road. Of course, we're going to make a complete stop here. Turning signal is on. Look left. Traffic is clear. So we're going to continue. So we're eastbound here on Claricona. Pretty nice morning. And we've already answered the question, so we're just driving around talking pedestrian safety. But I do want to test something. And I'm trying to find the right spot to do it, because so many of you guys really give me I get a lot of crap because of the basicness of what we talk about. Is this really a problem? I wouldn't have a job if it wasn't. We wouldn't have the crashes or the news stories that happen every single day if it wasn't a problem. And I think what drives me crazy is it's avoidable. All of it. Every bit of it. And then you get the cars that say, well, they just walked out. Then you have the pedestrians that say, well, they didn't yield to me. This goes along to my whole train discussion. The train is coming. The velocity is intense. The weight is absurd. You gonna get in front of that train? Whether you're right or wrong? I don't think so. I don't think so. So why would you do that as a car? And we get so complacent with everything we're doing because, I'll say it, we're living in a very privileged society to where we just think, oh, they're going to stop. They're going to do what I want. They're going to do what I want them to do. So this might be a good place for me to do this example. So let's see if we can pull this off. It may be a horrible example. You guys got to remember, it's just me out here coming up with random things for safety purposes, right? So we're going to pull into this parking lot right here, and I just want to test something out. So the clothing thing is big. I wear the smallest little reflective vest whenever I am out and about. And I don't have it with me or I would show it, but I ordered 2 more to keep in the truck for Amazon. But if you're out and about walking the dogs, for example, you're taking the kids to school, or you're going to go pick up whatever it is you're going to go pick up, the mail, groceries, all that fun stuff, how often do you actually think of your own safety? I can tell you right now, none of you guys do. Because everyone thinks I'm crazy with how in-depth I am on trying to ensure that everything is safe all the time in my life. And now, can that be stressful? Yeah, heck yeah, it could be stressful. But I'm still here with you, right? So what I want to show you is, see if this works. I don't know if it's going to work. The importance of wearing something bright and the difference it could make while you're walking. And we're just going to hang up this handkerchief. It's going to be the cheesiest demonstration you have ever seen in your entire life. But we're still going to try to show it, because that's what I do. I try my best to show you guys what's going on. So let's hop out real quick. We'll make this quick and we'll wrap this up. If you're joining us, I'm going to show you like how important it is to actually wear high visibility clothing. And when you do wear high visibility, the changes that can happen. So up in my face, good morning. Let's hop out real quick. We'll do this. So when we talk about clothing, what I'm wearing today is good for driving around. It's good for being out and about. But if I'm out at night, obviously not the best. So real quick, let's pretend this is the roadway, right? I have results 1 out here. This is the road. if there is no sidewalk and this is where I wanted to walk, I would want that vehicle not behind me when I'm walking, right? In theory, I would hope that there was a sidewalk here, but there isn't. So if I had to walk this way, I would want to walk facing traffic, but as far away from the vehicles as I could. This would be my right of way as a pedestrian, not the car. I would not want to be here. I see this all the time. You're walking, people are on their phone, they're doing their thing, and it's like, you got cars in front of you coming. You should be 100% focused, out of the roadway, and facing traffic. On a bicycle, it's different. You're going with traffic. Why? Because you're considered a motor vehicle, right? Okay. So here's my ridiculous, cheesy example of bright clothing. So you're out and about, you're walking, you're doing your thing. So look at this tree. It's simple. It's a simple tree. Basic tree. Beautiful tree. Low-hanging fruit here, guys. So when you have stuff like this, it can go anywhere, right? I'm not good at this at all. So, a ridiculous example here. That is so bright, you could see that probably where that Tesla is at. If this was just hanging around my neck, the difference that it would make would be crazy if I was able to walk around. Just having this little sweat and keeping me safe. I know this is crazy. I even think this is close to ridiculous, but it's what keeps us safe that we're not doing. We think we can walk out in front of cars. We think we can do whatever we want because we're a pedestrian, when in theory, we're getting ourselves killed out here. Let's hop back in. I like that view. Keep my phone right here. This is the audio controls, little display of what's going on. All right, quick recap. Here we go. You joined us today for the question of pedestrian safety, where you should be walking if you are in the midst of traffic. First, you should never be in the travel lane, ever. A pedestrian has no rights within a travel lane ever. If they're trying to walk with it, you should never be there. If you find that there is no sidewalk, then the shoulder belongs to you. The grass shoulder belongs to you. And you should walk facing traffic. Should always have bright clothing on. The signs and the infrastructure are there for a reason. Crosswalks, indicator signs, all that stuff. Drivers, you need to make sure you're doing the speed limit. Pedestrians, you need to be where the driver expects you to be. We do not expect cars on the sidewalks, therefore we do not expect pedestrians on the side, in the travel lane. So it all goes hand in hand. There will be plenty more of this. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for joining me on News 6 Plus, the cheesiest demo of pedestrian safety I've ever done, but it works. And I'm telling you, if this is being given out by local pedestrian safety, it's not a mistake that it's bright. The indicators to wear reflective clothing, it's all for a purpose. So if you're not doing it and you're still seeing the problem, then you're part of the problem and you're not part of the solution. And that's what I want you to be. I want you to be part of the solution. So thanks for joining us today. News 6 Plus, clickorlando.com, and of course the News 6 app. I am Trooper Steve, your News 6 traffic safety expert amongst other safety stuff and everything. Let's have a great Monday. We got a lot going on after the holiday and it's going to be a cool week. So we'll have a good, fun time. A lot of interesting stuff. We have the tree lighting in downtown Orlando on Friday night. I can't keep up. Have an amazing day. Love you guys. Please always wear your seatbelt. And have a great Monday.